Good afternoon. Welcome back to Salvatore Performance. We've got Mark with us today. We've come to a new location because I've been really ecstatic to do this video with Mark, and I think, wait, at 4 o'clock now, you came at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
We've just been talking the entire afternoon about cars in general, life, and I've had this idea for a video, and Mark was very nice enough to actually say, yeah, I'll do one with you, one of these videos. So usually I give a bit of background about me and the customer, but you know what? In this case, we'll let Mark tell us the whole background and how you came to get in touch with us, and
Yeah, of course.
with the eventual purchase of this beautiful F-Type.
Yeah. Well, it all started where I saw the advert on Auto Trader, had a huge number of pictures, really liked your website, and phoned you up. Had real confidence, certainly in speaking to yourself. Nothing was too much trouble, and it came down. Agreed a time, it was all very nice and easy. And I think what impressed me about you and your brother is that you gave me so much information. Super friendly family, honestly, genuinely lovely family, and not say nothing was too much trouble. Showed me all over the car. There was a great service history there. Took it for a drive, really cool, and we had good communication. I think all the way through this process, it's just been really good communication, and yeah, it's worked out really well, and I love the car. Really love the car. Yeah.
Perfect. And in terms of, you've purchased numerous cars in your
Correct,
life.
yes.
In terms of purchasing experience, and be honest,
Yeah.
where would this rank?
It's just, I've bought from Jag main dealership. In fact, a lot of main dealers, Mercedes, etc. You guys, honestly, I'm not joking, top of the tree. Just been genuinely good people to deal with. So it comes from the heart. So no, I as I say, it's just been a really pleasant experience. I've even got to meet your whole family. So I'm just like, that's something that you don't get a Jaguar. So no, it's really good, and you were kind enough to service the car before I picked it up today. So it's been a good, pleasant experience.
Yeah. Well, I guess before we move on to a bit about you, and just to give you a little teaser, we've Mark had this beautiful Austin-Heeley.
Yes, correct.
Austin-Heeley Sprite. But before we get onto that and a bit more information, I guess with Mark, I think how you guys got onto that was you and your wife wanted a performance car at the time.
Yeah.
Just give us a bit of background on that.
Yeah, I decided to buy this car, the Austin-Heeley, a couple of years ago. My wife wasn't quite so keen, but managed to persuade her. So, but we decided, let's say, to upgrade, and hence the Jaguar. So, the Austin-Heeley, although I'm genuinely going to be sad to say goodbye to it, and I think a few of my family and friends are as well, but it's this is the way we want to go. We want weekend trips far and wide in this, and my wife naturally deserves a little bit of luxury, so it's like we said before, we're going from a Spitfire to a fighter jet as far as I can see. So
you know what they say, happy wife, happy life?
100%. Yeah, that's why we're still married for 25 years. So
25 strong years.
25 strong years.
And hopefully a lot more to go.
Absolutely.
I think he's not from London, and we're based in London. He's from Suffolk.
Correct, yeah.
Drove that all the way from Suffolk.
Yeah.
80 miles?
Yeah.
80 miles.
Yeah. I was the smallest car on the road. But I got a lot of waves and happy smiles, so that was...
It's had a lot of work done on it over
Correct,
the past
yeah.
couple of years,
Yeah,
mainly
spot
by the owner that you purchased it
Correct,
from.
yeah. It went through a family, and they restored it, and hence showing you all the pictures.
Yeah.
I had a catalogue of nice pictures showing the restoration. So yeah, there's a lot of love put into that,
Yeah.
and we've had a lot of fun as a family. you know, driving around in it. So yeah, it's worked well.
Yeah.
It's worked really
Likewise with this, because likewise with this F-Type, as I was saying, we buy a lot of our cars from the actual owners rather
Correct,
than
yeah.
from, you know, a lot of dealers buying it from auction.
Sure.
We like to purchase it from the person who actually owns it, because you get to meet them, ask them all the questions.
Mm-hmm.
And with this as well, we gave you the background on it and told you
spot on
where it come from, and sort of the life it's had and sort of driving it's had, because it's a performance car, but you also want it, you know, you want an example that's not abused, that's looked after, that's had the money that it needed to be spent on it. And I think, well, onto the question for that, what made you go for, I know you mentioned and spoke about how we've dealt with you, but what made you go for this car in the first place, this specific F-Type?
Well, one, I wanted a 5 litre because I'm doing a bit of carbon offsetting because I've got an electric, so I just thought, well, do you know what, have a little bit of fun at the weekend. But actually, fundamentally, I liked it because of the extra pieces of kit on it. They've had certain upgrades, so I really like that. And it just stood out. It actually stood out for me in terms of the advert on Auto Trader. And there was another one. There was another comparable one through a dealer, but it was black and black seats, and I just thought I really like the red seats, and
it breaks it up quite
nicely. Bit of midlife crisis coming out for me here, but no, I just felt, and after speaking to you and then coming down, it was really good to. You know, the condition is really good for a 10-year-old car. So, yeah.
And I think one thing you mentioned to me while we were doing the paperwork is you were supposed to bring your wife, but she now wanted you to surprise her and just drive it on the driveway.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. We've got a bit of history on this, so I just turn up in the car. So if I get it wrong, I'm in trouble.
But I think you've shown her all of the pictures, and I think she's really happy with it.
Yeah, definitely. She's very excited. In fact, she's the happiest I've seen her for a long time. So no, genuinely, she absolutely, she's a big Jag fan, and well, we both are actually.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we just thought we do like British sports cars, hence the Austin-Healey. And knowing that this was built, I think it's built in the UK, but it's a British design, etc. So, yeah.
And then I know you've got quite a bit of a journey ahead of you, so I really appreciate taking this time out.
No, that's fine. That's right.
In terms of, you know, down the line in the future, you'll enjoy this for a number of years, but then going forward, do you have anything in mind in terms of sort of a car that you want?
No, it's kind of, this was actually the pinnacle, what we probably could afford and wanted to get, really. But don't worry, I'll come back to you guys.
And on to my next question. Yeah. Would you come back to her?
Absolutely. I think the thing is, I realise that dealers generally get stuff off auctions. You know, I've been to an auction house, I know how it works. And they pick them up for next to nothing, and you know, I know you guys generally, well, from everything I've seen and heard, that you buy straight direct from owners, and I think that's the difference. I think that's what you a bit stand out for me. So yeah, no, I wouldn't be. I bought one from a dealer once, and it was an absolute pup. You know, it went back, and so yeah.
I think the dangers of it is just buying blindly. You don't. Definitely. At least with us, we get to go. It's similar to, you know, taking your Austin-Healey, going to look at it, inspect it, take it for a test drive, and also get to meet the person that actually owned it. And I think that's a lot of the care of the car is the person that owns it, right? And I think that's where we try to specialize mainly in buying from private individuals who have owned it, not just trying to make a quick buck like a lot of dealers and just, well, me and you were laughing at earlier about polished turds, cars that look nice, but you know what, people, you know, and cars like this, similar to yourself, it's like a dream car, and you want that person to have that, they've dreamt about that car their entire life, and you want them to actually have the hype live up to the expectation that when you finally own it. So, final question, has this lived up to your expectation?
Oh yes. Just, yeah, very much so. And thank you for being so transparent throughout the whole process. It's just been, dealing with you and your family, it's been a real pleasure.
I appreciate it. Lovely to have met you, and hopefully we'll definitely keep in touch.
Absolutely, yeah.
So Mark's going to put his foot down with the active exhaust on now.
just unbelievable. Oh, what a car! What a car!